Welcome one and all video game aficionados to the StutterBullet gaming channel. And today I'm recording a video where basically we're just going to go through the history of a certain car and see how it also does with it upgraded on that stock engine and that stock drivetrain around a certain small city circuit, just tuned to the max of the engine, at least according to Forza Horizon 3. And right now we're going to be doing the, what's it called, the 1953 Maserati A6GCS / 53 Pininfarina. Oh, sorry, that says Pininfarina Berlinetta. Something, an interesting name at that. But yeah, it was an interesting car, and I'll tell you about it in a minute once I get you out on the track. See you there. Welcome one and all video game aficionados to StutterBullet. Oh, wrong introduction. Basically, we're just at the track now. It's been a while since I've done this, but I'm gonna tell you all about the Maserati A6 series and the Maserati A6GCS / 53 Pininfarina Berlinetta while my replay is racing here. Hopefully he doesn't crash or anything. I can't remember if I crashed or what time I got. But yeah, the Maserati A6 series was a pretty nice car. It was it was named after one of the Maserati brothers. I believe his name was Alfieri Maserati, and he was also a founder of the Maserati company. Now, the running time of the A6 was from 1947 to 1956, which was a pretty good time for GT cars. Grand Tours, or also known in Italian as Gran Turismo. The Gran Turismo cars were cars that were meant to sort of be fast and comfortable and reliable all around Europe. They basically just sort of wanted them to travel through continents and stuff and be very, very reliable while they were traveling through those continents and be able to give you the speed and power that you wanted when traveling through those continents. Of course, considering it only was able to produce 64 horsepower from its 1.5 liter straight six, it wasn't super powerful, and I actually doubt it could even spin the wheels, although it depends on what tires that it had. The A6 series had an engine called the A6TR, a straight liter six-cylinder, as I said. Straight liter six-cylinder? Sorry. A 1.5 liter straight six-cylinder. TR, Testa Reportada, actually was an interesting part of this engine because it had a detachable cylinder head. Yeah, that's a fascinating thing to have in an engine. Yeah, it's an odd. It's not that odd. It's a nice car, but I guess you could have to say that a good example of a Gran Turismo is 1964 Jaguar E-Type. The E-Types were quite were a good example of that. As you can see, even this is a good example. Going around here, spinning its wheels a bunch, able to deliver the power, but it doesn't look like it's an uncomfortable car. It looks beautiful and gorgeous, and it's very sleek. But enough about just the Mazda series, the A6 series, and onto the Mazda. I said Mazda. I mean the Maserati. The Maserati A6GCS / Pininfarina Berlinetta. Now, the person overseeing the development of this extremely rare, only 4 ever made car, was Gioacchino Colombo. He was tasked to build this car in 1953, and he'd only been at the company from 1952, so he must have been making quite an impression to be given such an important task. His main goal in the thing was to make it in competition shape and be able to compete in the World Sports Car Championship. The World Sports Car Championship was run by the FIA from 1953 to 1992. It included famous races such as 24 Hours of Le Mans, 12 Hours of Sebring, and many, many others. It was a very just sort of something that could get your car on the map and make you a very distinguished car company. Now, the engine in it was relatively impressive, and it's the stock engine that I'm using right now in the game. It had 170 brake horsepower. It was a twin-cam 6-cylinder, 2.0 liter. It could go up to about 7,300 RPM, which for something from the 50s is not that bad. It was only a 4-speed though, so acceleration-wise, it was sort of lacking a bit because of that 4-speed. It says that it has 1,995 cc's though, very nearly 2,000, so that's not all that bad. Especially coupled with the fact that it's just a 2-seater, it's relatively light and can handle relatively well, especially, well, for the 1950s. It had a tubular chassis, which basically means the body is on the frame, and there's a strong tubular backbone supplying a strong connection for the front and rear suspension. It had independent front suspension, which means that front wheels could have different heights contradicting the other wheel's height. So if, for example, the front wheels were to dip down into a crevice and not do so. Wait, what? Where was I going with that? If the front wheels were to dip down into a crevice and the other wheel was not in a crevice, it was still on the level plane from the road, the other wheel would just stay where it is, and it would not be differed from the it would not be affected by the other wheel at the end. It basically just had different height levels, and they can move independently of each other. But the rear of the car did not, which could cause easy wheel spin. That means that it was basically like having a teeter-totter, where if one side of the teeter-totter is pushed down, the other side goes up. It's very simple. Most of the A6GCS's designs were in the sort of Fantuzzi Barchetta styling, but there was one man who was in charge of distributing Maseratis in Rome, I believe. His name was Guglielmo De, who was operating the Centro Sud training or sort of racing studio for upcoming racers, just to help them. Oh, it looks like I crashed into a pole. That's unfortunate. He was the one who enlisted the designer Pininfarina. Well, not designer, the company Pininfarina, independent little design styling car company. And the person charging the head of that design styling department was Aldo Broverone. Yeah, that's Italians have the best names, just to be honest. He was to take 4 A6GCS chassis and make Berlinettas out of them. Berlinettas basically meaning competitor, something that is fast, sort of sporty. Now, the design style was quite common of Pininfarina, in that it had concave grille bars and French-style headlights. On this one, you can tell that still the same. It was designed by the chief stylist, Aldo Broverone, of course. The car won the Polyphony Digital Award at Pebble Beach in 2014, and will likely be named Sport or 7. One of the original models crashed by Garvin during the Giro d'Italia race in 1954, killing the co-driver. It was never repaired, despite being sent back to the factory. In 1991, Di Tommaso, which was an Italian car manufacturer, had it repaired and sold to Italian Panini Auto Museum in 1996. So, like, not the bread, it was like a museum. I got that same result when I was searching for it. Just like Panini. Need more specific because I can just see Panini. But yeah. Now, I sort of do like the way that it was designed too. I think it was very, very nicely designed. And if you notice, Pininfarina Pininfarina's design compared to all the others, all the other A6GCS's designs, where it's significantly different. Like, it's so much more, the midsection is more raised from the ground in the Berlinetta, and it just seems so much more artistic and so much more fun. It's just gorgeous. It's a great, great car. I love the designer who did it. Sorry about the graphics here, by the way. This is pretty much all my computer could run, considering that the company that made Forza Horizon 3 did not do a very good job optimizing it. But yeah. Now, it was designed to compete in tons of races, and it actually did. It competed in Le Mans, Monza, and Targa Florio, which is an endurance race in Palermo, near Sicily. In 2005, it won the Art Center College of Design Award at Pebble Beach in 2005. Oh, that's my fault. I put 2005 down twice in my, whoops. But yeah, it's a fun little car. I think that I love the way that the exhaust is placed too on the side. Makes it absolutely gorgeous, and sort of reminds me of a motorbike. Oh, this is the part where I missed a checkpoint. Yes, I remember that. This lap was sort of phooey after this. But yeah, it's interesting. I do quite like this car. I think it is very gorgeous and very stylish. Now, yeah, see, this is the part where I messed up. Now, its handling. It was surprisingly twitchy. I mean, I always have the downforce to complete maximum, but this, at lower speeds, if you put the rev limiter up to the max going through a corner, if you notice, what was that? What in the world did I... That was an odd way for me to skip a checkpoint. I basically dodged around it. Yeah, I'm driving with the keyboard, by the way, because I don't have a controller, an Xbox controller. Oops. Yeah. See, it's a little bit touchy, especially with the keyboard, considering the fact that you're just going full throttle each and every time. Yeah, but other than that, it was interesting. Oh, I think this is the part where I just sort of crash, and I just, yeah. Here we go. Okay, I think I'm gonna exit the video right now. Okay, but yeah, it's an interesting handling little car. I think it's hard to describe. It's basically just very twitchy for a rear-wheel drive sports car, but it does have good power to put down, and the gears, I tune them to be low and sort of at the speed of 150. And I think it reaches that speed quite well. Okay, now we're going to have to see how fast it can go as of top speed. Just how much top speed we can get it to do. See there. Okay, welcome to the highway, you guys. This is where we're going to basically see if it can reach 175 like the computer thinks it can. This is, I've stretched out the gears if you can't tell. Just so we get the maximum amount of speed possible. Obviously reach 50. I would be surprised if it couldn't reach 150. But, yep. Come on. $167. $168. Still going for 168. Downhill stretch might help. 8, 9. Oh no, 70. Yeah, it appears that 169 is all that we're gonna get. Wait for it. 168. Possibly 170 maybe? Come on. 170? Right here? Right here? 170. Did we get 71? No. No on the 71. Okay. So it's exactly 170 for the Berlinetta. Okay guys, well, it's been quite an episode. I hope you feel educated on this car's history, and I will see you tomorrow.